All right. Hello, everyone. It is Monday, June 2nd, 2025. Welcome to another episode of the He Said, She Said Sports Talk Podcast. We are your hosts. I am Big Red. This is Tony. What's good, Tony?
What's up?
I'll let you do the introduction. Got a special guest on today.
Special for so many reasons, Big Red. So today we've got my brother on the podcast, but he's not just special because he's my brother. He's also special because he's a pretty great college decathlete.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. So Nick is in his 5th year now at the University of Colorado Boulder. And we've got nationals coming up.
Yeah, leave next Monday.
Next Monday.
Yeah. June 11th, Wednesday it starts, right?
Wednesday and Thursday is the competition, the 11th and 12th. Should be a movie. Excited.
So
how do you feel about it?
I feel good. Like I can't complain, I have the opportunity to go be on stage with some world-class athletes, so might as well go put on a show, right?
Yeah, definitely. You're no slouch yourself. From what I heard, you own a lot of school records out there. Is that correct?
Yeah, I have the indoor heptathlon and the outdoor decathlon at CU Boulder. I have both those school records.
You're sitting at what in the NCAA right now? 22.
Right now at 22 in the NCAA. They take top 24 to nationals because it's different than like most track events. So every other track event, other than the decathlon, heptathlon, for like the men's and women's multi, top 48 get invited to like a regional meet. And from the top 48 in your region, you have to come top 12 to qualify for nationals.
Yeah.
But in the decathlon and the heptathlon for women, it's like top 24 in the country, period. So it doesn't matter if you're east or west, you don't have another chance to be 48th and get to the top 12. You have to be top 24 and you get to go. So
for everybody that doesn't know, why don't you explain exactly what the decathlon is? Because it's not the biking and swimming one that a lot of people think it is. When I tell people you do the decathlon, they're like, "Oh, that's so cool. He swims." No, it's a track and field event. So why don't you explain it?
The one I got recently that was actually kind of shocking. Someone asked me if I did a biathlon. They go, "Oh, you ski and shoot guns?" I went, "No, definitely not that one."
So what is it? Tell us.
So decathlon, it's pretty much the perfect combination of all-around athleticism. It's not like there's 10 events. Decathlon is where the deck comes from, but so you have 2 days of competition, 5 events each day. First day you have the 100-meter sprint, the long jump, shot put, high jump, and the 400-meter sprint. And then second day you have the 110 hurdles, discus, pole vault, javelin, and the 1,500-meter run. So it tests your sprinting ability, your quickness, your jumping, your technical form, and then you finish off with pretty much a mile. So
you love that.
That definitely takes a lot. You definitely have to be in tip-top shape to do those kind of things, especially to be good at it like you are. How often do you train a week, and like what are some of your regimens as far as like eating wise? And do you have trouble with like eating wise and stuff like that?
Well, that's actually like a super funny question because I finally feel like I'm starting to understand my eating now. During the school year when I was student teaching and waking up at 7 every day and trying to also fit in lunch during like my anatomy lab that I was teaching, I was definitely struggling a bit more eating. I could feel it. I could definitely feel less energetic. But most weeks we lift twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. But our lifts are not like we think. You don't just focus on chest or back that day. It's doing 2 lifts for each part of your body every day that we're lifting. And then for the running, we practice 5 days a week. Usually we have 2 or 3 running workouts, and paired up with a running workout, we'll have a throw. And other days we'll have a jumping or a distance workout.
How long do y'all run in practice? Like how far do you guys usually run? Practice 5 days a week. How far do y'all run?
Mondays are usually like shaking out the weekend kind of thing. So Mondays are gonna be like 6 by 200. Just get your body feeling good, get your body moving. Friday is usually like lactic Friday. You're trying to hurt a little bit. So we'll have like 4 by 300 or like 2 by 400 with like a long rest going faster kind of thing.
Got you. Pretty intense training.
Yeah.
The recovery process is intense too. I feel like after your decathlons, there's a process to recover.
Oh yeah, the ice bath becomes your best friend. So
yeah, no, I bet it does. Because it's pretty intense for sure. I can agree with that.
So what's cool about the decathlon, and as a former track runner who just ran distance and did the laps, and did not do all of the fun events. What I always thought was cool about the decathlon is that you accumulate points as you go along each event. You accumulate a certain amount of points, and you're essentially not just competing against the other people that are in your meet, but you're competing against yourself and your own personal score. And what I find really cool about that is the camaraderie that you build with the other decathletes, because nobody else is doing what you guys are doing. So I would love if you could share some of that, because I just think that's the coolest thing about what you guys do.
I would agree. That's the coolest part about being a decathlete, is because, granted, you're going out there and going to war with 10 other dudes, but you're not fighting them. You're fighting yourself. And if you have the right atmosphere, like I've been lucky enough, like when I was in the Pac-12 last couple of years and this year in the Big 12, the dudes in the decathlon have been amazing. I'm going out there fighting the wars with myself, but I have my brothers from different schools supporting me, having my back, cheering me on, clapping me through events where there's like every other event, you line up the line, you look at the person next to you as your enemy. Absolute enemy. But it's not in the decathlon, because I can come third in every event, but win the whole thing. I don't have to win a single event to win the whole thing. So it's not about, I got to beat you here. I got to beat myself, and I got to get myself better to go see where I can get myself to, kind of thing.
It's probably like that with the training too, like with the practicing and stuff, like you said, with your guys. You guys are pushing yourself in those practices and stuff like that too, as well. I can imagine.
Yeah, it's actually ideal to have like the training partners I've had the last couple of years have been absolutely perfect. It's either they have like niches that are different than mine, so we are able to push each other, or we're both just competitive New Yorkers, so it's hard to let the other person win.
Got you, definitely, for sure.
Tell us I know it's a mental battle getting through 10 events, 2 days.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You had a meet this year, the one where you broke the school record. You accumulated 7,655 points over the 10 events, had a school record, and you had a personal best in a few of the different events.
Yeah.
Mentally, when you're having a meet like that, what's going through your mind versus maybe a meet where you're not PRing in every event?
Oh, that's the tough one. That's the kicker. I have this rule that I have grown it through the years, because it used to be, if an event doesn't go well, I have 5 minutes in my own head to be upset with myself. Then I realized those 5 minutes start to drag on. So I've made it to 2 to 3, kind of to shorten it. But the biggest thing is understanding. It's like if you ever played golf, if you bogey the first hole, you're still starting fresh in the next hole. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it's
short mindset.
Yeah, it's understanding the fact that, all right, I'm here doing this. That's done. That's over. Now, next thing I got to do is go do this. Is the only kind of way to put the mindset somewhat positive, because if you're having a good time, you just ride the high. Like, you ride the flow, you enjoy the fact that you're having fun. And for me personally, my biggest factor of doing well is having fun. So if I'm singing and dancing and jumping around and you could see that, and someone can tell that like I'm visibly having fun, there's a higher chance I'm going to put up better scores, just because I'm less focused on, I got to do this, this, and this, and just know my body's got to go do what it's got to do.
When we're watching you and we're looking for you, we just look for the person bouncing on the screen, and then we know it's Nick.
It works, doesn't it?
It does. You're very easy to find. But he's not even kidding. He's always bouncing. He's always jumping, dancing, keeping himself like energized throughout the process.
So the day of the competition, what is like your do you have any like rituals that you do, or like what's your thing that you eat every before a competition and stuff like that?
Well, it's funny because you only have about 30 minutes between each event. Like you get 30 minutes. So finding time to sit down and eat is kind of tough.
Definitely.
So you got to be like figuring out how to way to snack the whole time. I will say I'm probably not the best at snacking. I usually get beef jerky, candy, and energy drinks, and somehow survive 2 days off that. And then we go back to real meals.
Gotcha.
I try to do like a dinner in between, like a pasta or a steak or something, like get it all back kind of thing. But during the days, during the competition, just trying to hydrate and keep my energy up.
Okay, got you. Definitely. I got one more question for you. I would imagine that it's part of your goals. Like, I was gonna ask, like, what is your goals? Like, you looking to go to the Olympics? Is that something you're looking into taking serious?
That would be an absolutely amazing opportunity. My goal is to give everything I have into the sport, and obviously, like work hard every single day and put in the work to allow for opportunities in the future. And if I get a chance to go to the Olympics, that's obviously the goal, and that's where we want to be.
Yeah.
But the goal really is just keep growing in the track community, keep gaining knowledge, and one day be able to transcend into the next.
I think it will. I think you'll have a good shot, man, in my opinion, for sure.
It's a cool position because you're primed to be in like that prime age group when the next Olympic cycle hits. So
Yeah.
I think that lines up really well. And what's your US ranking right now?
32 or something.
I think it was when we checked last night.
That's amazing, man. That's dope. Sure.
It's pretty cool. I do before we kind of talk a little bit about Colorado, two things that maybe Big Red doesn't know. One, I want you to talk about having Deggs at the Big 12 championships. Deggs is his high school track coach. And we surprised him and we flew his high school track coach out to go to the Big 12 championship in Kansas this year. So how like just that moment and like because mom has a video of it and it's
I was definitely surprised. I definitely did not expect to see Deggsy there. And he's a very important person to me. He's like a second father to me. Like him and my dad are definitely my two male role models growing up. Like he was my high school track coach, but his goal wasn't just to teach us track. His goal was to teach us life and get us ready for the future. And like I owe a lot of where I am to him. So like part of my goal is to go back and coach with him. So the fact that he was there and just like, because when like you hear a voice of someone, you know exactly the voice, but you don't even get to see them.
Yeah.
The voice, like, oh, it was absolutely amazing. Because during events where I would struggle, I'd hear his voice, and some part of my body would just start working. It's that subconsciousness, it's that drive, it's that knowing that man has put so much love and effort into me over the last 4 or 5 years, and now I'm out of high school for the last 4 or 5 years, and every year we have barbecues, we go to camps and everything. Like he's a big part of the life. Like it was so cool for him to actually see a college meet, let alone a full decathlon. So it was nice.
Yeah,
no, that's dope,
like
man. That's a good story for sure.
I think that he's been a big influence in what you want to do with your career outside of, potentially professionally running track and attempting to go to the Olympic trials and all that. You do have actual career aspirations as well, which are to teach and to be a track coach and all these things. And I think he's just a big influence for that.
100%.
No, that's dope, man. Whose idea was it for you guys to bring the coach?
I have no idea.
I think it was my mom. It had to be my mom. She talks to him the most. I'm pretty sure it was her. But on top of all
Shout
this
out to Mom Duke.
Awesome track stuff, you have been at Colorado Boulder for the last 5 years. You were there before the Coach Prime era. You were there for the announcement of the Coach Prime era, and now you've had 2 years in Coach Prime era. So
you've seen a lot for sure.
You've seen the whole thing.
Yeah, I've seen a lot.
Can you tell us how much changed? Because I know from the stories how much changed when Prime got on campus.
It was actually almost like overnight. Like it went from, granted, my first year was during 2020 during COVID when it was a ghost town on campus.
Yeah.
They actually had a rule in Boulder that like ages 18 to 24 like people aged 18 to 24 weren't allowed out for 2 weeks because they thought we were the problem. So compared to that, it was an absolute booming. Like they when they hired Coach Prime, that first spring game was the first time we sold out the stadium in 4 years of me being there, and it was a spring game, not a real
game. That's crazy.
And then the next week we had big noon kickoff at 6 a.m. like 4 weeks in a row. We had college game day come down. He had put on the CU hat. The Rock was there. Pat McAfee was there. The Gronk was there. Lil Wayne was there.
All kind of celebrities.
It was insane. It was insane. Within like the first month, I'm pretty sure Dude Perfect rented out the indoor track because they did like a video with like Dion or something. I don't even know. But it absolutely insane. Admissions is on an insane rise. Like our school's popularity. Like, now, anytime I go anywhere, they go, "Oh, you go to Dion's school?" I go to Colorado, but yeah, he coaches there. like, yeah, I go to Dion's school.
He does not own it. Just backpack.
He actually does teach a class though. He got to teach a class about like excellence and like success and stuff. I heard it was really, really cool.
That's really
crazy.
Cool. Did you have any run-ins with any of them while you were on campus? Dion, Shador, Travis Hunter. These are guys that we talk about all the time.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
This is actually pretty cool because we have this athletic like dining hall kind of thing where a lot of the sports teams get to eat lunch together. So I honestly see Dion 2-3 times a week. Like he'll be in there eating lunch and like every once in a while I'll be like, "Hey coach, like good job last weekend. Like congrats on the win or whatever." Like I've talked to him a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's dope.
Shador doesn't really hang around the facility that much. And I've seen him. I haven't really had a conversation with him. I've said I've said what's up to him before. But Travis was really cool. I've only had the opportunity to meet Travis like once or twice because he is like really trying to stay away from all like the public eye kind of thing because he's just trying to live his life. I get that. But it was like one time he was about to leave for his Heisman ceremony. And I was walking through the facilities and I saw him running through. So I was like, I held the door for him and he's like, "Oh shit, like how's it going? Like, thanks for holding the door. Like, what sport do you do?" And like took a second to talk to me. I was like, "Bro, you gotta go run to your Heisman real quick. Like we could say hi or something next week or whatever." But it was like really cool where he like actually took like a second. I was like, "Oh, thanks. Like, tell me about yourself for like 2 minutes." But as he was running around trying to rush to the airport. Like he's such a good dude, like a genuine good dude. And I really hope that like everything that's like good keeps coming to him and Shador and everyone. Because like when I met Travis, I was like not surprised because I knew he was a good guy, but I was like, "Damn, he's a good ass dude." I was like,
it's different when it happens to you directly. Like you get that sense of like, wow, that's a really human moment.
Yeah.
That's super cool. So maybe like 5% rooting for the Jags, mostly for your teams, but
yeah. Obviously, I'd root for the Jags a little bit. I'll root for the Panthers a little bit. I'll root for Jimmy Horn. I'll root for the Ravens a little bit for LeJohntay. Like we now have a bunch of people that I've been in contact or communicated with that are now on NFL teams. Yeah. So I guess I gotta root a little more for a little bit everyone.
What are the kids on campus saying about Shador and what kind of happened over the course of the draft and where he ended up going in the 5th round?
That one's weird because a lot of it is speculation. And obviously, if you're not in the interviews, you can never really know what happens with him. I feel like personally part of it is there was so much clout. There's so much like build up and there's so much hype around it that like the more you can almost build too much hype around something. And then everyone's like, why are we so excited? And then if one person gets nervous, I don't know if you ever, I might be dating myself, especially for your younger brother. You know the movie like Draft Day with the Cleveland Browns and it's damn near the same thing. Like pretty much the exact same thing happened was someone was a little like, I don't know if I want to get full into the limelight. Like, I don't know if I want that like on my team. And then everyone was like, someone didn't pick him. Holy shit, what's wrong with him? Yeah. And everyone got scared.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually he got picked up. I think I know he's definitely not a 5th round like talent. Like I know his talent is definitely top 2 or 3 rounds, but Now
He's showing that now too.
Yeah. Now all I hope is he just goes out there and beats out every other quarterback that is on his team and actually gets to play and start and hopefully be a reason the Browns are like a decent team this year. Bring them to the playoffs or something, Shut them all up. Show him who he is.
I don't know.
He's been looking good.
I don't know if I'm ready to see the Browns go to the playoffs. I feel like
I don't think anyone is.
Coming from a Bengals fan.
I feel like the AFC North does not need another great team, but I would like to see his success.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking teams we're fans of.
Yes.
Are we ready to cry about the Knicks yet, or do we want to move on to that? You want to talk about the Knicks?
We can.
How did you feel about the series?
It's miraculous that it all, as much as Jalen Brunson is our main guy, it really depended on Cat. The last game, Cat was playing stupid, so we were screwed. The game before that, when we won, we took Cat out for 10 minutes and they brought it back within close. For some reason, Cat was like the separation. His offense is like, I don't like how he plays offense. I think he tries too hard to get the foul every single time. And he makes a whole show. You're 7'2", just go dunk the ball.
You think he should play more inside?
Yeah.
Like, I agree.
You're 7 foot, 200, and like you're massive. Dunk the ball. Well, that's how I felt like when we played the Celtics. I didn't understand why Jason Tatum didn't run down the court every time and just dunk the ball. I'm like, you're a freak of nature. Why are you trying to take half-court threes?
Yeah, the Celtics shoot a lot of threes for a team that
they do
really good inside. But that's what Dad and I were saying about Cat too. We were like, why is he not just every single time he touches the ball driving to the basket and
posting up? There's nothing wrong with shooting the three every now and then because he can hit it. But I mean, definitely he needs to play more in the box for sure, 100%.
Yeah, I would agree. I think
it's hard to come back from 3-1 though. I just once you get there, it's
The second game when they brought it to OT and we lost that second, that was when the series kind of like you kind of had to think like, where is this gonna go?
Mm-hmm.
I had a feeling that's about when I had the feeling that it was done too. Yeah. I think I said that last week. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. You did say that for sure.
But I mean, miraculous run for them because they were a better team than them. And it's just playoff basketball. And
for some reason, the Knicks are always like the last couple of years been a solid team. I feel like we're finally so close to like being that championship team.
Yeah.
I don't know
that's what I was just about to ask you. What you think about y'all's chances for next year? I'm sure y'all going to add a piece, and then you got the draft and stuff like that. So,
I might say a hot take right now, but I think we might need a new head coach. It might be time because like I think Tibbs is great. He's done like if you look at his stats, he's done phenomenal for us. He's brought us to the playoffs like a bunch of years in a row. But someone just got fired. That's a championship winning coach, Mr. Mike Malone. Maybe the Knicks might want to talk to him.
No, definitely, that would be a nice pickup for y'all for sure. If y'all could switch him out for sure, definitely.
If he's truly available, it could be. I mean, sometimes you just need a different voice, but it's also hard because each year now, for the last couple of years, he's taken us a little bit further, Tibbs.
So 100%.
Part with that coach, but Malone being available does change.
Yes. And I definitely don't have any problem with keeping him. I think he's done great, but like you said, like Malone's available. Championship in the last 5 years, he's won a championship. Maybe it's time.
Just to see, even just to interview, see what see what's out there. Because I think they found out that like when they reach into their bench depth, they're fine, and that was something that Tibbs is criticized for heavily, is not playing with enough depth. But I think it's criticism that's unwarranted because I don't think we have a ton of injuries related to overplaying our guy.
Yeah.
No, we have a ton of injuries due to playing your hearts out every single game.
Right.
Granted, the only issue is that we only have 6 guys.
Right. So, I mean, but we found out in the Indiana series that like if you go into your bench, they produce, and it's Brunson.
I like Josh Hart off the bench.
I
Josh Hart off the bench is a move.
Yeah, definitely. He's nice off the bench for sure.
I just like Josh
100%.
Hart in general. He's a rebounding monster. I mean, I love when a guard can rebound.
Didn't he catch the elbow or something where he got his nose?
Yeah, against
Yeah.
the Celtics, he got his eyes split
Yeah,
open.
yeah.
He had blood all over his face. Dude
Face
stood up,
it.
wiped it off, and was like, all right, let's keep playing.
Let's go. Yeah, yeah.
Kept going.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And then what else? Do you wanna I don't know, Nick, are you able to stay on or do you gotta get off and go to practice?
I got a little bit more time. If I could hit
All
another
right,
segment.
that's cool. We
We're about to
can
preview the NBA final here. So
yeah. So
Yeah, cool.
I'm
all
pretty
right.
sure. As far as the NBA Finals preview, obviously you got OKC versus Indiana. OKC out the West has been going crazy for real. They're coming in the finals pretty hot. Then you got a feisty Pacers team that just somehow just keeps pulling through. Who do you have in the finals and why?
I'd like to say I have the Thunder because I really don't want the Pacers to win. I
Yeah.
really don't. I do think that the Thunder matches up against the Pacers pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we did not match up against the Pacers well at all. So I think the Thunder can do it. They'd be the team to do it. It just depends if the Pacers hit every single shot like they have been the last 2-3 games. So.
Yeah, no, okay, gotcha.
I think that
what about you, Tony?
I think that this is a series decided by two things. It's decided at the 3-point line and it's decided by Tyrese Halliburton because these are two really crucial things. It's the number one defense in OKC, the number two offense in Indiana.
Mhm.
OKC has only allowed its opponents to shoot 34% from the three, whereas Indiana has been the best 3-point shooting team in the playoffs.
Playoffs,
So
yeah.
it's going to be decided at the 3-point line
Mhm.
who survives that competition, right? But then also Tyrese Halliburton has a very passive history against OKC over the last 2 seasons. So I feel like their defense is really ideally suited to stop a guy like Halliburton because the different guard defenders have different strengths. So you can kind of put anybody on him and create a different kind of matchup. And in the last 4 meetings over the last 2 seasons, Tyrese Halliburton is averaging his lowest points per game against OKC than any other. So those are the two keys for me.
Fair.
Okay.
So OKC gets it done. I just think they look like the more complete team. The Pacers are feisty, but we saw it with the team like the Knicks, feisty little team that comes in and makes a run at it, but isn't there yet. And I just
a little overmatched.
I think OKC is there.
Yeah, no, definitely.
OKC's so young though. Is the only issue with me being them being there is that they're just so young.
So, yeah, they definitely are young for sure, and it can look ugly for the future if they keep that team together. So definitely.
That could be the next great dynasty.
Speaking of Tyrese Halliburton, though, I think he should have got Eastern Conference Finals MVP. That's another story.
I don't agree. I was
either.
Everybody was saying it was going to be Hallie, and I was like, it's got to be Siakam because the games that the Knicks won were the games that Siakam did not perform as well. Like
You're right.
Very dependent on him.
No, 100%. No, I just felt like Halliburton should have got it just based off the numbers he was putting up. They definitely, like I said, he can't do it by himself for sure. That's why Siakam has to play how he has to play for them to have a chance, even in the finals against OKC, because he'll have some matchups with him too, with Chet Holmgren playing down there at the block, being a long defender. That'll be a challenge for Siakam for sure. But I mean,
I think when you say most valuable, you're looking at just that one series. Yes, Halliburton had great numbers in that series, but the value of Siakam,
no, definitely for sure, because they wouldn't
against him.
You're right, 100%. Y'all definitely couldn't. I'm not totally against him not getting it. I just thought Halliburton should have got it, but.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like he's kind of in charge. He's at the floor general. He's kind of setting everything up, and he had a 35-point triple-double game during the series.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been upset if
He
he got
averaged 10 assists in the series, you know.
I would have understood that if he
Yeah.
got it.
Either
But
one of them. Like I said, I wasn't mad at either one.
Yeah.
I just thought Tyrese definitely should have won it for sure.
I do think it's kind of nice to see someone who's not like the superstar.
Superstar, yeah.
That's the
That's
only.
usually how it be. Like the
Yeah.
old when Kawhi won it with the Spurs,
Yeah.
back when they had Duncan and all them, nobody expect him to get MVP for sure. But no, I got OKC winning it. You know, Tony, I usually do my underdog. So I was kind of thinking Indiana, but I think OKC just gonna be too much for real.
Yeah.
And their defense is a lot better than the Knicks defense too. So it's just gonna be a hell of a nightmare for Pacers, I think.
Yeah,
I definitely think it's a series that can go 6 or 7 games.
At least 6. I think it's going to go at least 6.
Yeah.
At least, you know.
I just like that it's 2 Midwest teams. Like, it's 2 teams that are just, you know.
Nobody expected.
Nobody expected it.
That is true.
This matchup. And, I mean, it's the first NBA final since the introduction of the luxury tax in which neither team is a taxpayer. Like these are 2 very Midwest teams.
Yeah, definitely Midwest for sure. Hills and farms. Definitely.
Well, I'm excited about it. I think it'll be a good one.
Should be exciting. I'm actually really excited to see how the Thunder play against the Pacers because I think the Thunder have played great. I think that the Pacers are actually, the more I think about it, are going to struggle a lot on defense. Because if Miles Turner's their big guy, right? He's not quick enough to stay with Chet, really.
No.
And then Siakam's low-key too small to stay with Chet.
Well,
yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm definitely with OKC.
Well, I want to say he's too small to stay with him, but he's Chet definitely got the length over him when it comes to the shooting and offense for sure. Yeah. And then, like you said, their defense is just crazy. And then, having to worry about SGA and all those guys doing their thing. So,
yeah, I'm so curious to see what the ratings are on this final because, Midwest teams, they love their basketball teams. And I feel like the NBA has needed boosts in ratings for a couple of years now. And I mean, for me, it was probably because the Knicks were doing so well that I was so invested in it. But I wonder what the ratings are going to be.
It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I hope it's high ratings just because it's not, your normal big city teams or big time players, the normal players we're used to seeing in the finals, like a Curry or LeBron or something. Yeah. So hopefully it does still get the views. I mean, because NBA's in kind of a shift to change over the times, in about 3 years, you're going to have a lot more guys retiring and the young guys shift to the NBA and who's going to be the new face of it and all that. So hopefully it does get the views.
The Pacers pull it off, it absolutely could be Tyrese Halliburton as the NBA.
I hope not. I really hope not, because that would be the worst thing for the NBA if Tyrese Halliburton becomes the face, because then I would not watch.
Yeah, you're right though. But it's like I feel you on that. But I kind of get what you're saying though, Tony, because it's like whoever wins the finals, like even if SGA wins it, he's going to become that face. I think that he might not want, but it'll be there, and then the pressure for next season will be sky high for sure.
Yeah, you could already start seeing that pressure on like people like Luka or like even Jokic is still relatively young. Where
this is what we talked about too a couple weeks ago is the international players being the stars of the NBA.
Yeah,
Wemby. For whatever reason, Americans not wanting them to be the face of the league, they want an American player.
Yeah, it's nice to see people like you succeeding.
Your stars are not American, and your young guys are not. They're all international.
Yeah. Like Wembanyama, you got Wembanyama, and like you said, Jokic and Luka.
Yeah. Even SGA is Canadian.
Yeah, even SGA, Canadian. Yeah.
Might be the most malleable option for people. Like
SGA.
Yeah. They might be able to get past the Canadian thing.
Yeah.
And just kind of,
Yeah. No, I
as
agree.
almost an American.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I agree with you too, Nick, about Luka. He's got a lot of pressure on him. Definitely. He's been in the league a few years now. Like I said, it went to the finals a few years ago, but they ended up losing that series. Um, so now he's teamed up with LeBron. Those boys are still going to have pressure on him, definitely going into next year for sure.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he does. I mean, he's a great player, definitely.
Yeah.
He could be the face of the NBA for sure, but
100%.
like y'all said, I don't think they want it to be an international player, which I don't personally mind it. I mean, whoever is the best player, is the best, so. But
we'll see. Indiana, though, hotbed of basketball talent at the moment because the Fever are also just constantly making headlines. And the biggest thing right now is Caitlin Clark is out with that left quad injury.
I thought she was hurt.
Yeah, she's hurt. And I read something in a front office sports article because the next couple of weeks, there are a couple of big games that the Fever are playing against the Mystics and the Sky that were two larger arenas to accommodate fan demand. And now Caitlin Clark is not playing in them. And so something that front office sports wrote that I just thought was very odd was that it was unclear if any teams are going to be providing compensation to fans who bought tickets to games that Caitlin Clark is now going to be hurt for, which is just so fucked up to me.
Yeah.
Because first of all, you would never do that if like LeBron missed a game or like if Steph Curry, you're not going to give fans their money back.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
The WNBA is still a business. There's still, other people in this league that are not Caitlin Clark that you're paying to go see. It was disrespectful to the league.
It is disrespectful to the league. I like I said, you're right. You're absolutely right. That is crazy and blasphemous for real. Using the Stephen A word, but no, definitely. It's crazy because, like you said, there's other players in the league, and I love the attention Caitlin Clark is getting. She is future face of the league for sure, but there are so many other good players in this league that need the recognition and deserve the recognition. Because it's not just Caitlin Clark and a bunch of slouches out there.
Specifically to those two games with the Mystics, you're seeing a possible Rookie of the Year candidate in Sonia Citron, and an up-and-coming Mystics team. And then with the Sky, obviously, Angel Reese, she really thinks she's a big deal in the WNBA. That's up to you guys to decide if she is or not. But, I mean, that team and going against the Fever is always a big deal. So...
What you think, Nick, about Angel Reese?
Honestly,
yeah.
If she started to care more about the game, I think she'd be a great basketball player. She cares way too much about what everyone thinks about and about what she looks like.
Yeah.
That she's becoming more of an influencer, less of a basketball player.
Basketball player, yeah. No, I agree with you for sure. Like I said, it's like the potential is there.
Yeah.
You see it in spurts sometimes out of her. It's not consistent enough, definitely. And it feels like I said, I feel like she just needs to work on her jumper and inherit that more into her offense.
Because she could be really good. Because she's got the whole she's got the whole athleticism, the body for it, and everything. Like everything she pretty much needs to do. Just she kind of has to put the focus back into it.
Do work to be what she thinks that she is, I think. So definitely interesting, but I just thought it was such a weird way for that because
we're fun because they're not playing.
Yeah, what are we doing? I mean, it's completely disrespectful to the other players, to the league. Yes, the league lost money before Caitlin Clark came in, but it's not the only reason that people should be buying tickets. And
that's crazy. People trying I can't believe that. That's wow. That's super.
People get hurt. It happens on sports, and nobody else is getting refunds for that. So
like you better sell your ticket or something. You ain't getting no refund.
If you don't want to go, resell your ticket. I'm sure there's someone who will still want to go.
Yeah, what? plenty of people out here that still want to go. You know, WNBA is definitely a growing league. Like you said, there's other players that people want to go and watch and see and support. So definitely 100%. That's wild, man.
That's crazy.
I think the last thing we got on the dock for today, Big Red, is the Stanley Cup.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Stanley Cup is
Nick knows is just not our thing in our house.
Oh, hold on.
Not a hockey house.
Hold on. One thing before the Stanley Cup, Paige and her injury.
Oh, yeah. What happened with that?
She's in the concussion protocol.
Yeah. Concussion protocol.
2-game minimum. So we'll just see where she's at after that.
Okay.
It didn't look like, it was anything too crazy, thankfully.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I did not see it. I definitely wanted to just touch on it. I didn't know if you knew anything about it. I wanted to speak on that to see what was the protocol was. A 2-day minimum, you said? 2-game minimum?
2-game minimum. They don't tell you too much when they're in concussion protocol. So it's see game.
Kind of one of those things.
Hopefully she's fine after the 2-game minimum and can go play.
Yeah. All right, cool. That'll work. We wish her quick health. But definitely. But let's talk about the NHL. Thursday night, Edmonton closed out the series against Dallas. The Stars to win that 4-1, and I want to say Wednesday night, Florida closed out the series to beat Carolina 4-1, and they won that last game 5-3. So now we have a rematch of last year's Stanley Cup, Edmonton and Florida.
Yeah.
What is your take on that, Nick, and who do you got?
I would like to see, obviously, like it's, I hear a lot of people who, not that into hockey, but I hear a lot of people who like hockey say that they always want to see American teams win. So it'd be nice to see Florida. But Florida won last year. I would like to see Edmonton win because isn't Connor McDavid, he's on Edmonton. And
Edmonton, I love him, yeah.
He hasn't got a Stanley Cup yet. And he's like, my friends are big hockey fans, and I remember hearing all about him as he was getting drafted and just started. So it'd be cool for a guy like that to have now been in the league for 5 years or something like that to now earn the Stanley Cup. So,
no, 100%. I agree. I've been, your sister will tell you, I've been rooting for him the whole playoff pretty much.
The whole way.
Like
a Canadian team has not won the Stanley Cup since 1993.
That's a wow.
Yeah.
That's a good stat to have right there. I did not know that for sure. This is a long time.
So I'm definitely I'm rooting for Edmonton as well.
So. Yeah, no, definitely.
The Panthers won both regular season matchups against the Oilers this year.
Yeah, the Panthers been hot.
The Panthers have been dominant. However, like we say, it's playoffs, and also it's really fucking hard to beat a team multiple times.
Yeah, it is. And their series last year was so crazy because Florida started off the series 3-0, then Edmonton won the next 3, and then Florida won Game 7. So, I mean, I think it's going to be a hell of a series for sure. I got Edmonton winning for sure. I think Connor McDavid's going to he deserves the title. Like I told your sister, I think he's the new face of the league, future face of the league for sure. And I also think he's going to win the playoff MVP trophy too. He deserves that as well. So yeah, I got Edmonton. It's going to be a tough for him because Florida's tough, and they're the defending champs for sure, and they've been there. But I got Edmonton 100% in that one.
Yeah.
Sure, definitely.
Thank you, Nick, so much for jumping on here with us. Everybody that follows our podcast, I am actually going to be in Oregon at Nationals watching Nick compete in the decathlon. So
that is dope.
We'll definitely throw up some content, let you know how it's going.
Yeah, that's going to be dope.
Because I'm very excited. The track at Oregon is fucking
it's phenomenal.
It's unreal.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
So,
for sure.
Yeah, Track Town USA. You think it'd be the best track in the country for sure. So I'm very excited to see you compete in person. I'm sick of watching you on the screen. So
No, definitely. I'll be rooting for you as well. I'll be keeping my eye on it and watching you, man. You already know we wish you the best of luck. We definitely look forward to having you on again in the future for sure. So Definitely, it was a pleasure, man. Like Tony said, and we'll be rooting for you. Definitely, good luck to you along your journey for sure.
Thanks, appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Should be fun. Might as well put on a movie if y'all want to watch.
All right, cool, for sure, definitely. Put on a movie for us, definitely, for sure. We'll be rooting for you. But can you shout out your Instagram or something? That way people can kind of follow you.
Instagram is it's at Nick Bianco 24. I think.
Yeah.
I'll put it up on the screen.
All right, yeah.
All right, cool. That'll work.
Yeah, and most of my Instagram is me doing track stuff. So.
All right, well, yeah, y'all make sure y'all go give him a follow, check him out. Great athlete. But again, we appreciate you guys for watching the He Said, She Said Sports Talk podcast. We are your hosts, Big Red and Tony. We appreciate you guys, and as always, it's love and peace.
Peace.